Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Yamuna Tira Vanajari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Shyama Sundar Radhe Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavana Dham Jaya Gauranidai 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 Jaya Gauranidai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nidai Gaura Premanande Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Stotrasya Srimad Abhay Charanaaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Nitya Leela Pravishta Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakaacharya Astotrasya Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की व्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा माई यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की समवेद भक्त वृंद की all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we have chapter 4, text number 33 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita for discussion. We all read the sloka and then discuss. Kindly repeat after me. Shreyan Dravyamayad Yagnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Shriyam dravyamaya dyagnat jnana parantapa sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Shriyam dravyamaya dyagnat jnana parantapa sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Shriyam dravyamaya dyagnat jnana parantapa sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate. Word-to-word meaning. Oh, somebody is reading. Oh. Word-to-word meaning, translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki. Shreyam, greater. Dravyamayat, of material positions. Yajnat, than the sacrifice. Jnana-yajna, sacrifice in knowledge. Parantapa, O chastiser of the enemy. Sarvam, all. Karma, activities. Akhilam, in totality. Partha, O son of Pṛtha. Jnana, jnani, in knowledge. Parisamapyate, end. O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice of material possessions. After all, O son of Pṛtha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. You all can repeat after me. O chastiser of the enemy, the sacrifice performed in knowledge is better than the mere sacrifice material positions. After all, O son of Pritha, all sacrifices of work culminate in transcendental knowledge. Purport. The purpose of all sacrifices is to arrive at the status of complete knowledge, then to gain release from material miseries, and ultimately to engage in loving transcendental service to the Supreme Lord, Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Nevertheless, there is a mystery about all these different activities of sacrifice, and one should know this mystery. Sacrifices sometimes take different forms according to the particular faith of the performer. When one's faith reaches the stage of transcendental knowledge, the performer of sacrifices should be considered more advanced than those who simply sacrifice material positions without knowledge. For without attainment of knowledge, sacrifices remain on the material platform and bestow no spiritual benefit. Real knowledge culminates in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, the highest stage of transcendental knowledge. Without the elevation of knowledge, sacrifices are simply material activities. When, however, they are elevated to the level of transcendental knowledge, all such activities enter into spiritual platform. Depending on the differences in consciousness, sacrificial activities are sometimes called karma-kanda, fruitive activities, and sometimes jñāna-kanda, knowledge in pursuit of truth. It is better when the end is knowledge. Om Ajnānatimirandasya Jnānāñjana-śalākaya Chakshurunmīlitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya-manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam dadati swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guron Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Guron Vaishnavansya Sri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitanscha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyasya krupa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jaya Sri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vācālam pangum langaite girim, et krupātamaham munde Sri Gurun Dīnatarinam, Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Kṛṣṇa has explained various types of yajnas, various types of sacrifices in the previous slokas, and now Kṛṣṇa is saying very clearly that all these yajnas which are on the material platform, which are not performed with knowledge, these are of not much use. They are not good. The better one is mere the performance of the sacrifice in knowledge. So as we have seen in the previous slokas, Kṛṣṇa has explained the different types of yajnas. Prabhupada has very nicely explained in 4.28 about the different types in brief. The first one is Dravyamaya Yajna. Dravyamaya Yajna means the yajna, the sacrificial activities performed for establishing some activities, charitable activities, like establishing some dharmashala, annashala, annakshetra, atidhi sthala, vidyapita, like that. So the activities actually performed will give lot of good deeds, result of good deeds, which is called punya. They will give a lot of punya. But ultimately what will happen? They are actually binding. With the accumulation of the punya, the person goes to Swargaloka. And Swargaloka he has to stay there. And he will have to enjoy. And when the punya is reduced, the result of the good deeds is reduced, then he has to come back again, come back to this earth and take birth again. Again he has to perform all the activities, accumulate the result of good deeds, accumulate his punya. Again he will go to another or the same heaven. Again he will enjoy and he will come back. To result of all these good activities, even though they appear to be very good, but they are actually binding the person. They bind the person to this material world. If that is the case, then whatever be the number of sacrifices they perform, whatever be the quantity of possessions they sacrifice, it is of no use. It is not actually going to give the solution for this suffering. Prabhupada explains the next one is the Tapomaya Yajna. These are all derived, these are all taken from 428 of this, about 4-5 slokas back. To sacrificing of the comforts, voluntarily accepting austerities, one-time meal, half-time meal, or meal without roti, meal without this thing, without that thing, whatever those activities, those sacrifices, such sacrifices are called Tapomaya Yajna. Then Yoga Yajna. Yoga Yajna is the Hatha Yajna or the 8 type of yoga practices, Ashtanga Yoga. Then Swadhyayana Yajna. This is actually study of Vedic literature, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, all this. Studying. But all these things, Prabhupada writes very clearly, makes it very clear that they don't lead to developing Krishna consciousness in the human being, in the persons who are actually performing. They only lead to getting the punya and then they get bound. So, unless a person actually comes into the level of Krishna consciousness, whatever be the suffering, they won't end. They won't end at all. Prabhupada in 429 explains further about the different types of yoga, the pranayama, apana, taking air downwards, prana, taking the air up, rachika, exhaled air is taken inside, that is inhaled, that is sacrificed in the inhaled. Then kumbhaka. Kumbhaka is both the air currents, the exhaled and inhaled, both are stopped together. Prabhupada explains that this kumbhaka practice actually increases the lifespan. But ultimately, they only try to reach a place, reach a stage where a person is able to control the senses if they are performed properly. So, if we take any yajna, the sacrifice, these sacrifices are actually giving temporary results. That's why Krishna concludes that there are so many sacrifices, the better thing is the jnana yajna. You know, the yajnas always start with praying to the Agni, the fire. The first sloka of Rigveda, Om Agni Mele Purohitam Yajnasya Deva Mrityajam Hotaram Ratnadatamam. This is how actually when the fire is actually to be ignited, before that the prayer is done. Here, if we see actual meaning of this, Om Agni Mele Purohitam Yajnasya Devam Ritwijam Hotaram Ratnadatatam. Ratnadatamam means you are the person who will give the prosperity. O Agni Dev, you are the divine, you are the awakener of the inner energy, and you are the person who gives, you are the Devata, the demigod who give the prosperity. Unto you I offer my obeisances. So, the very purpose, it looks, the yajna is to carry out some activity which leads to the prosperity. So, why this fire is actually essentially used in yajnas? If we try to analyze, this fire or the Agni Deva, Agni, the demigod, acts as the messenger. If anybody is offering Om Somaya Namaha, Om Soma Swaha, Somaya Idam Namama. Soma, the Chandra or the moon. O moon, I am offering this, please take this. And idam na mama. Now this which I am offering, na mama. Now no more it is mine. It is no more it is mine, it is yours. You please take. So here Agni takes that and he takes it and delivers to the respective demigods. And so Agni is used as the messenger. So through Agni, through the fire ritual, whatever is performed, these are all different types of yajnas. Somebody was mentioning, as per some in article, that there are 1008 yajnas, 1008 different types of yajnas, which are meant for achieving a particular goal. Like suppose you have ill health, you perform this yajna. If you have particular ill health due to eyesight, perform this yajna. If you want to get a son, perform this yajna. If you want to get some nice wife, perform this yajna. Like that, there are so many different types of yajnas for getting the material things. But ultimately, if they don't lead to realization of the Supreme Lord, Kṛṣṇa explains that even though these yajnas are there, though they are meant for satisfying Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Lord, but their main intention is to get some benefit out of that by satisfying a particular demigod or devata. So this actually lead to temporary results, and these make the person to remain on the material platform. They are not elevated towards the spiritual activities. So, if we see, there are many examples where the person who performs yajna will try to get some benediction, and that benediction is really not of much use because that is all temporary. We have a very beautiful description, beautiful story about Harishchandra. The Harishchandra which we generally hear about, Satya Harishchandra, the very truthful Harishchandra, that is from Markandeya Purana, where he is made to undergo so many difficulties, but yet he strictly follows the discipline and rule. He never deviates from the truth. Whereas in Srimad Bhagavatam, we have a beautiful story about Harishchandra, how he got a son when he was not having a son, what he did, and after getting the son, what he had done and all that. Harishchandra actually did not have any sons. So he was feeling so bad. He was feeling so much that, you see, I am the king and I don't have sons. Every day he was feeling very bad. One day, Narad Muni, who is so compassionate, with the compassion of elevating him, he says, "Oh Harishchandra, what is your problem? You tell me, I will solve it." He says, "Prabhu, oh Narad Muni, I don't have any son. Kindly, you have to do something. You kindly get me a son." Narad Muni says, No, you pray to Varunadev. You pray to Varunadev, the demigod, and Varunadev will give you son. So Harishchandra prays to Varunadev. This is explained in Canto 9, Chapter 7. So after praying to Varunadev, Varunadev was very much pleased, and he blesses him with a son. Before that, Harishchandra says, "Oh Varunadev, please give me a son. When I get the son, I will perform the yajna for you. I will perform the yajna by sacrificing the son." Varunadev was astonished. Oh, my God, he wants to perform the yajna called Narameda yajna, where the human being is sacrificed. And this generally not done. And this man, his own son, if I am giving him, he says he will do this yajna. He will perform this sacrifice. So Varunadev immediately says, "Okay, I am blessing you with the son." And Harishchandra gets the son. And once the son is born, Varunadev comes running, because this is such a great yajna that one father is sacrificing. to keep up his words. Oh, I want to perform it as early as possible. He comes down and says, Harishchandra, now you got the son, you perform the yajna. Harishchandra says, just now this boy is born, he doesn't even have a name. At least after 10 days you come, then we can perform. Okay, 10 days is not a big period. After 10 days, Varun Dev again comes and asks Harishchandra, Harishchandra, perform the sacrifice, perform the yajna. Varun Dev, what is that you are talking? He didn't have even one teeth. Such a small boy, you want him to be sacrificed? No, that doesn't show any great thing. No, once the teeth come, then we can do the sacrifice. I think that is better. One day goes back and comes after 5-6 months when some teeth have appeared. Then Harishchandra again says, what is this Varuna Dev we have come? The teeth should fall down. Then he is really worth to be sacrificed. Varuna Dev goes back, comes after 2 years, and now he says, now this fellow has got all the teeth, everything. Okay, you perform the sacrifice. Harishchandra says, no. You see, this fellow is such a small fellow, 2 years. And he doesn't have even the Janyu samskar. No samskar has been performed. He should have the Janyu. He should become a Brahmana, you see. And then he can be sacrificed. Then Varuna Dev comes after some time. And he says, you see, this fellow is too small. He has to learn so many things. Then Varuna Dev goes back. In the meantime, this fellow is growing. Then he comes to know that his father is going to sacrifice him. This fellow runs away to the jungle. Runs away, goes to the forest, and he keeps living in his own way. But he is totally dedicated to the spiritual activity. Now, Varadev comes down, says, what has happened? He says, my son has run away to the forest. How can I catch him? How can I do that? I am unable to find him. Then Varadev becomes very angry. Then he says, because you have not kept your promise, I can give you the very severe disease, Udara Vyadi. The abdomen is filled with water and enlarges and becomes so big. So now he is suffering, Harishchandra is suffering. So somebody said, oh, we will inform the son when he comes back, he can be sacrificed and his disease can come down. One day will be pleased and the disease will be cured. So he gets the information. His name was given as Rohita. So this man, Rohit, comes to know that his father is ill, so he was coming. When he was returning to the kingdom, Indra appears there. He says, where are you going? No, my father is ill because he has not sacrificed me, so I have to go there and do something. No, better than going there, no. Go and do pilgrimage for 1 year. And after 1 year you go, I think with that accumulation of punya, his disease will be cured. So this poor fellow goes around all the places, holy places, and comes back, and he wanted to go in the 2nd year. He wanted to return. Again Indra appears. Like this 6 times, Indra stops him from going back to the kingdom. After 6 years, when Indra appeared again, then this man says, no, now I have to go. So he goes. He was going. when he was going, actually now he could get the idea that unless the sacrifice is performed, vṛjinaṁ will not be happy, because that is the main reason. So he was feeling what to do. Then one Brahmana is there, Ajigartha. He had the 3 sons. In the middle one, the second son was Shunashepa. Then while discussing, they say, okay, you take Shunashepa in your place. Shunashepa is such a pious man, so he doesn't mind to leave the body anytime. Shunashepa was really devoted in all spiritual activities. He was quite advanced devotee that way. So he says, no problem. So as a compensation, Rohit gives money. That means literally he purchased this man, Shunashepa. Now he goes to his father. Father, I brought this gentleman, my friend, Shunashepa. He is ready to be sacrificed in the yajna. So kindly perform. So Harishchandra performs. He calls all the people and he performs the yajna in a very great way. And everyone comes, all the devatas also come. The yajna has been performed. Only sacrifice is done at the end. Now yajna has been performed, all devatas were happy, and even vṛjinaṁ was pleased. Then Shunashepa comes. Shunashepa is taken and he has to be sacrificed. Shunashepa says, praise to Brahma, praise to all devatas. You see, please, if you really want a human being to go back to Godhead and practice the devotional activity here and go back to the Godhead, you kindly show mercy on me and give me some time until my natural death occurs. So one by one they realize, yes, what is the problem? Now the yajna is over, only the sacrifice, something else can be sacrificed in his place. So they all decide that he should be saved. Then Vishwamitra comes forward and he says he should be saved and I adopt him as my eldest son. Vishwamitra had 100 sons already. And he says, Shunashepa will become my eldest son. So all devatas, they bless him. Brahma also blesses him. Now, his father smiles. I know. You are so much devoted, so you will definitely be released. That's why I agreed for that. So he gets released from this and he becomes the eldest son of Vishwamitra. And the story continues. He had 100 sons. Out of 100 sons, 50 sons agree, 50 sons don't agree. And those 50 sons who did not agree, Vishwamitra gives them the shapa, and because of that they fall down. And the story continues in Srimad Bhagavatam in chapter 16. In chapter 7, the story ends with the performance of the yajna and all that. They all were happy, and vṛjinaṁ also relieves him of that disease. So as we analyze here, the whole performance, whole concentration was to achieve some material benefit, material gain. But because of the presence of Narad Muni, because Narad Muni appeared and he had the association of Narad Muni, actually Harishchandra slowly gets into the spiritual platform and he practices the spiritual things and slowly he goes back to Godhead. That is the further story. The point is, these yajnas, unless they come to the knowledge, unless they are jnana, yajna, these are of no use. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam. Canto 11, 532. Sango Pangastra Parshadam. Yagne Sankirtana Prayaye Yajantihi Sumedasaha. Those who are intelligent, those who are in the Kali Yuga, he is the one who is without the luster of blackish, without that black color. Trisha Krishnam. Trisha is without Krishnam, that black color. He is the one who comes in this world and he performs the congregational chanting. He sings constantly the names of Kṛṣṇa. His color is not blackish, but he is Kṛṣṇa himself. He is accompanied by associates and servants. And his astra, the weapon, is his beauty. In this Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come and he has performed this Sankirtana Yajna, which is the jñāna-yajna. Even though some people try to practice some yajnas for gaining some material benefits, they don't get the permanent result. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had come forward and propagated Krishna consciousness all over the country to make them aware, to awaken the Krishna consciousness from the human beings' hearts, from the animals' hearts, from every living entity's heart, so that they can go back to Godhead. In 12.352 of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clearly stated, Krite yadhyayato Vishnu tretayam yajato makhai. The makhai means the performance of sacrifices, yajna, or in Treta Yuga. Dvapare paricharyayam, the performance of worship. And Kalo tad hari kirtanat. In Kali Yuga, in this millennium, it is the chanting and congregational singing of Krishna's name which will give us deliverance. So, after telling the doshas, Kaler dosha nidhe rajan in 51, same 12.3.51, Kaler dosha nidhe rajan astineko mahan gunan kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param rajat. So even though Kali Yuga has got so many faults, so many defects, Kali Yuga is full of fighting only, but still it has got the biggest thing, biggest quality, the best quality, that just by taking the name of Krishna, Kaler dosha nidhe rajan astineko mahan gunan kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param rajit. He not only comes out of the bondage in this world, and he will go back, attain the param, the supreme abode of Krishna. So, in this world where we are, this material world fully consists of material desires. And these material desires, when we try to fulfill them, they lead to some more desires. And these desires, these material desires have got no end. That's why we should have only one clear-cut goal to go back to Godhead. Then only we can come out of the birth, death, disease and old age, these miseries. Otherwise, it is of no use. If anybody in this world in this age, if he thinks that he can perform some sort of sacrifice and he can achieve the results, permanent results, it is of no use. No material sacrifices, no material yajnas will actually work. It is only Nama Sankirtana, the Sankirtana of Sri Kṛṣṇa. The path shown by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the teachings of our Srila Prabhupada, when we follow, we can really come out. That's why Kṛṣṇa is concluding here that whatever in the previous slokas, different types of yajnas are described, the best yajna is the yajna performed in knowledge. That is the Nama Sankirtana. If we don't use the opportunity, we are going to end up with getting no opportunity at all. In this connection, actually, I remember the story, even though it was repeated sometimes here. There was a king who was very efficient administrator. Any problem he will solve within no time. One day he gets a message from the messenger, "Oh king, there is a problem in your jail, prison house. All the prisoners, they are very much agitated. They have got so many queries, so many things they want to get from you." King says, "I am going to the jail today. Announce it in the jail that I am coming." In the jail it is announced, "The king is arriving today. Tell all your problems. Be brief, one by one, all of you." King arrives in the prison, and the first prisoner, he tells, "Oh king, look at my plate. This plate has got so many dents, so many holes. When the dal is poured here, half of the dal is going down. How can we eat?" King says, "Oh yes, all new plates for everyone." Everyone says, "Long live the king." One fellow in the middle, he says, "Why are you asking this? What is the use of this?" He says, "We are getting all these things and you are saying, what is the use of this?" They all actually push him back. He goes to the end in the queue. Now the next prisoner comes and says, "Oh king, look at my blanket. So many holes. When I put on, you see, my head is just coming here. Such big, big holes are there." King says, "Yes, very good. All new blankets to everyone." Everyone says, "Long live the king." This man says, "Why are you asking? You are losing the opportunity, great opportunity you have got. The king has come. Why are you asking this? What is the use?" Everyone says, "Shut up." King looks at him. Now, the third one again comes. "You see this water which I am drinking, so much contaminated, so much colorful. It is not juice. This is water which we are drinking." The king says, "Yes, pure water for everyone, good water." Like that. At the end, the king calls, "You come here. You have been saying, what is the use of this? What is the use of this? Why are you asking this? Now you ask what you want." "Oh king, oh king." King says, "Don't worry. Ask what you want." "Oh king, please release me from this jail." King was surprised. King feels so happy. This man is the most intelligent person. All others, they want to remain in the jail and they want to enjoy these petty things. Release only this intelligent person. And for all others, listen carefully. I have provided so much. I have given you so many comforts. Your work is doubled. Those who don't perform, the punishment is also doubled. All the prisoners, they feel, oh my God, I lost the biggest opportunity. Whatever work we are doing, that is not being completed, and every day we are getting the punishment, every day we are suffering so much, and the suffering is doubled with whatever we have asked. Exactly, our position is identical. We want to have more and more material pleasures, and we will get bound here, and more miseries only we will be getting. We should wake up, make our mind absolutely clear. These material pleasures, I should not go for it. I should only totally dedicate myself for Krishna's activities. So when we develop that sort of attitude, definitely we will go back to Godhead. Otherwise, we will remain here, and we will remain here again and again and again and again and again. Millions and millions of lives. This cycle won't end on its own. This cycle will keep on going and going and going. That's why we have to become serious and try to dedicate as much time as possible to do the devotional activities. And whatever devotional activities are performed, we should do it in a perfect way, so that this life itself, we should go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thought I should stop here. So, your questions, comments? Yes, Prabhu? You have.
In the end of Gita, the Lord said to Arjuna that I will tell you secret, most secret of all secrets.
Right.
Then he said, this is the topmost secret, man-mana-bhava. You give your mind to me only. And Prabhupada had written in his purport that it is the most secret of all philosophy, and it is the conclusion. Man-mana. And how can we be man-mana-bhava? There is one method in Gita that sarveshu kalesu ma-manusmar. And yudhita. Ma-manusmar means remember me. You forget, then remind your mind that remember the Lord. And in Ramayana it is written, Kaliyug keval naam adhar, sumir na utre hi. Only chanting will not work. The remembrance of the Lord with chanting or hearing the holy name, that will.
Very good. You have very nicely explained that. So, Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma-manusmara yudhyacha. Arjuna, Krishna doesn't say, Arjuna, run away from here and go and do tapasya. No. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma-manusmara yudhyacha. Perform the work. Fight Krishna. But always remembering me. Then only you can come back. Otherwise not. So Krishna, while explaining, this is 8.6, 8.7. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajachyante kalevaram tam tame veti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. At the time of death, whatever you are thinking, whatever your mind is thinking, that is the one which you are going to attain. Krishna explains further, Tasmat sarveshu kal. That's why always remember me and fight. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhya cha mayyarpita mano buddhir mame vaishyasya asamshayah. So, whatever we are performing, if we always remember Kṛṣṇa, then we are sure to go back. That's why Kṛṣṇa gives in chapter 12, text number 8, Mayeva, the secret, the clue for going back to Godhead. Mayeva mana ādastva mai buddhim niveshaya. Nivashishyasi mayeva ataburdvam nasamshaya. Mayeva mana ādatva. Ādatva is fix your mind on me. Use all your intelligence on me, for me. So using the intelligence for Kṛṣṇa, fixing always mind in Kṛṣṇa, then we can go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. That is nice. Thanks for your very nice comment. Any question, Mataji? Mataji? Well, somebody can help? Yes, Mataji. Baitiye, Mataji. Please be seated. Please. So every yuga has got the yuga dharma. Kriteya dhyayato Vishnum tretayam yeto make dvapare paricharyayam kalo tad hari kirtanam. The same amount of benefit you get simply by performing the kirtana, by chanting and singing the holy name of Kṛṣṇa.
Those sentences involve not needing a lot of qualified candidates and invest a lot of money for that sacrifices.
Yeah.
It's a very cost-effective way, chanting of holy name. So when this cost-effective way option was available, why people resorted to that very costly methods of self-realization?
I'm not getting. Kali Yuga, you are talking.
A very cost-effective way of chanting of holy name was available as an option in the Yuga. Why people resorted to very costly methods of
That's what. The Maya is not so, easy to come out. Now, you see, out of so many millions and millions of people, how many people are really chanting? To come out of Maya, it is not easy. Only by the mercy of the Guru and Gauranga, we can do the chanting. So that's why we have to propagate this and tell all the people, kindly chant. Only chanting is the process by which you can come out. And it is there only in Kali Yuga. In other yugas, actually, no. That Yuga Dharma has to be adhered to. If tapasya is recommended, Kriteya dhyayato Vishnum, tapasya is performed, tapasya has to be done. Like Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj wanted to achieve a big kingdom. So for that, the only way is to do the tapasya. That is the Yuga Dharma, to please the Supreme Lord. So he has gone to the forest and he performed the tapasya and he was successful. So in Kali Yuga, this is the Yuga Dharma, and so we have to perform only this, Nama Sankirtan. Okay, Mata? Any other questions? Yes, Mata. Yes. Mata.
Hare Krishna.
Mata.
So even devotees do charity. We do help other devotees or do different types of charity, like whatever is private. So what is the result of that charity?
So any duty, anything, anywhere anybody is performing, he should remember Kṛṣṇa. Suppose you are a doctor, let us say. So when you are seeing a patient, oh Kṛṣṇa, the knowledge you have given me, and with that knowledge, please let me find out what disease this person is having. Oh Kṛṣṇa, this is not my knowledge, this is the knowledge given by you. Because Kṛṣṇa in 15:15, he says, Sarvasya chāham hridisannivishtom arthasmriti jñānam apohanancha. I am sitting in everyone's heart and I am giving the knowledge, every living entity's knowledge, heart. So the knowledge, whatever anybody is having, it is given by Kṛṣṇa. So the doctor should immediately feel that, oh Kṛṣṇa, this is, you are giving me the knowledge. And with that knowledge, kindly make me to find out the disease. And if you give me the strength, I can perform the operation. Kṛṣṇa, these hands are working because of your blessing. Because you have given the strength, my hands are working. Really. If Kṛṣṇa doesn't give the strength to hands, operation, he cannot perform. So, as a doctor, as an engineer, anybody, anywhere, Kṛṣṇa says, that's why, as he was telling, Tasmat sarveshu kavaleshu mamanas mara yudhya cha. While performing the war, it's such a critical, he has to keep on aiming the arrow and then shooting, and one side, some arrows are coming this side. The mind is agitated. Kṛṣṇa says, you always remember me and do the performance. Oh Kṛṣṇa, give me the strength to fight. Kṛṣṇa, how to shoot this man. Kṛṣṇa, how to attack this man. Always remembering Kṛṣṇa, that's all. Kṛṣṇa says, always remember. That's why Prabhupada has made it very, very simple slogan. Always remember me and never forget. Always remember Kṛṣṇa, never forget Kṛṣṇa. So if we try to cultivate that, remembering Kṛṣṇa, then slowly we always remember. If we don't cultivate, then it won't come. So any activity when we are performing, if you are making rice, if you are cooking rice, oh Kṛṣṇa, this is for your pleasure. If you are making a nice drawing, Kṛṣṇa, this is for your pleasure. If you are making your child to read, study, oh Kṛṣṇa, for your pleasure. So if we always think and check up the points when we did not remember Kṛṣṇa, then we come to know we are forgetting so many times. So we should try to rectify and become perfect that we always remember Kṛṣṇa. Then slowly by that practice, definitely we come out. The Maya makes us to forget Kṛṣṇa. That's why we had to fight with Maya by remembering Kṛṣṇa. Our weapon is Kṛṣṇa's name, and the Maya will definitely be defeated. Yes, Mataji. So we stop here, Mataji. We stop here and then we can continue. Tomorrow you have very beautiful sloka, 434, Tadvidya pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So you all please come again. Thank you very much. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhagavad Vani Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.